Let's quickly take you back to the Free State province now, outside the Bloemfontein High Court, and there's less fanfare there today. This is where the former Free State Premier Ace Magashule, along with his fraud and corruption co-accused, are appearing. Despite this, police have crowd control measures in place, and our reporter Mbali Thethani monitoring the situation outside of court. Mbali, good morning to you. I've just had a conversation with Bulemabe, who speaks for the ANC, and he says the party has no problem with its senior members who serve at the highest decision-making body or structure of this party, which is the ANC-NEC, making statements such as the NPA has a weak case against Ace Magashule. Might we expect more of those speeches there today?
That's certainly right, Qoli. And of course, yesterday we saw the likes of a very senior ANC member, of course, Qondile Khedama, coming here to come and defend the suspended Secretary General Ace Magashule. But, Qoli, we are in the backyard of the former Premier of the Free State, and one would say, when you look around today and when you look at the preparations which have been done here, you would know that he was a Premier here in this province for quite some time, and he enjoyed a lot of support when he headed this province. And today, there seems to be really little to no supporters who have come to show their solidarity. But when we look at the contrast into what we saw yesterday, one of the very senior leaders of the ANC there, Qondile Khedama, is saying that when he sees an injustice, he as an activist will come here and come and show his support. I asked him, in what capacity are you here as? And he refused to say that he is here as an ANC senior member, but then went on to say that he is here to show solidarity for Magashule because he feels as if what is happening in the High Court today is quite unfair, and says that he's quite confident that those charges will be dropped, and of course that challenge by Magashule that has brought to this court, saying that those charges, he sees that there is really no case here against him. But, Qoli, we are also here outside the court, and we're going to be speaking to the city's spokesperson, the City of Mangaung Spokesperson, Qondile Khedama. Qondile, you usually prepare for large numbers together here outside of the court. I see today you have downscaled. Why have you done so today?
Look, there's a trend here. When the case started, there was this huge number. But on the second one, we could pick it up that the numbers are going down. So this trend is continuing. We have seen it yesterday. Look, the law enforcement officers also have other assignments. So we feel that where the risk is minimal, we should redeploy the law enforcement officers so that they can also take care of the other business of the municipality. Because this municipality is big, we have about 5 regions, and they must be taken care of in terms of law enforcement. But the other thing that is critical, it is that when you do the risk assessment, you are able, I can't talk about the intelli plans that much or details, but they would tell me that, look, we have downscaled a bit so that we allow the traffic flow, we allow the movement of people, because there's also a court, your normal court, that is actually having its own activities. Now we also put an eye into that court other than this one. But the numbers, are everything. They tell how you have to plan and so.
And when you are planning, I know that you've taken us through, the regions here in this province, but when you are planning for very, very big profile cases of this magnitude, what goes into that?
Well, it's a security issue. People in the security environment would detail it even better than me. But as the city, we have a responsibility, either taking the High Court, the Appeals Court, the Regional Court. It depends on who is there, because again, issues of court have got the cult of personalities. So if you remember the last time it was the EFF leader that side, we had to plan accordingly, because we knew that they are going to bring as many people as possible. And what we always emphasize is that when we plan, at the center of our planning is making sure that the residents of the city are not inconvenienced. The business that is happening daily in the city is not disturbed. So that is why, obviously, it will differ depending on who is involved, the issue of personality cult. If it's this one, you'll play in this way. But with time, for example, if you look at what is currently happening, you can pick it up immediately. This case is going to go long for some time, and even the supporters are going down. And we are looking at the trends, but we also have our template. We know when is this type of a case, this is how we need to plan and so, but we also look at general activities in the country.
All right, thank you very much. Of course, that is Qondile Khedama there, the Mangaung City spokesperson. I'll just ask my colleague there, Morena, just to show you that we can only see at least about maximum 10 supporters who have come here. You can see that they stationed right here on the side of the road. You'd spot one or two people there wearing an ANC T-shirt, but it also talks a lot about the position of this province. It talks a lot about somebody who was a very senior leader and the very minimal support you are seeing for him as he challenges these charges leveled against him of corruption.
Mbali Thethani, thank you very much for that update live for us outside the Bloemfontein High Court. We'll keep watch of this particular case, and we'll possibly dip into those proceedings as soon as they start.